Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. French playwright, actor, and poet, Molière. Overcoming obstacles with an invincible spirit. Wow, this is a skill worth mastering as soon as you can. Challenges and hardships will be a part of your life as long as you can breathe. So what if you could face them head on, prepared and resilient every single time? Last month, we launched our Ready, Set, Leap series. This month, the conversation continues with our new Owning Your Strength series. Just last week, we opened with Miss Quinn Townsend Riley from LMU, and she inspired us to see joy as resistance. Powerful. What a powerful idea I hadn't considered until she shared her perspective. Today, I want to encourage you and everyone listening to tap into a mental strength anchored in joy, a strength that no one can deny. Even if you haven't felt that power before, trust me, it's inside you. It might take a little practice to wake up your inner powerhouse, but when you do, you'll walk into the world with confidence, even in times of uncertainty. So stay with me because I'm going to outline 5 impactful ways you can own your strength in every situation. Now, it's not easy, but it's always worth it. Trust the universe, your higher power, or whatever guides you. And remember, this too shall pass. Let's dive in. Number 1, stay calm. Have you ever been caught off guard by someone you thought you could trust? That moment when everything feels like it's unraveling and your instinct is to panic, but deep down, you know you need to be cool and stay calm. That's exactly what happened to me during my first year in a college dorm, thousands of miles away from home. My roommate, who had seemed nice at first, turned out to be a nightmare I never saw coming. One day, she decided to play a practical joke by recruiting other students in the dorm to just remove all my personal belongings. I'm talking about my clothes, my bedding, everything. I had to pack quickly for a class rehearsal, but there was nothing left. My heart was pounding, but instead of losing control, I calmly told her, I need to get to class, and I highly suggest you return my things before I come back. In that moment, I reminded myself to pause and breathe, to show maturity rather than react in anger, especially since I'd already been through similar struggles in high school. Even though I was upset, I left for class, called my cousin, who was also a student there, and she came with friends to support me. And her idea of supporting me was asking me to take a break and leave the dorm for a little while so she could speak to my roommate and her friends. When I returned to my room, my cousin had left and everything was back in its place. Till this day, I don't know what my cousin said, but I learned that day that sometimes staying calm means trusting in others and believing the situation will get resolved without chaos. Not only did my cousin resolve the situation, but by me calmly stepping away to catch my breath and allowing someone to support me, I was met with an apology from one of the students who came in and took my stuff. My roommate was nowhere to be found. In fact, I don't believe she spent the night in our room that night. So when your emotions run high, remember to pause, take a breath, and reach out for support. You never know how a calm moment combined with the right help can change everything. Number 2, stay focused. In the midst of my frustration, I had a class rehearsal to get to. I had just met my dream professor who taught the legendary Miss Debbie Allen, my TV mentor, and there was no room for distractions or peer pressure. I had to stay focused. Focusing just helped me stay calm and preserve my dignity and my peace. It became a powerful tool that my professor would often emphasize. Stay focused, he would say. And in that moment, it was invaluable. I tuned out all the noise and zeroed in on what really mattered, the joy of becoming a performing artist. So fortunately, I had a strong value system, supportive family, and, some encouraging professors. That foundation kept me grounded, and I was able to handle the distractions back in my dorm. Knowing what I wanted, my education and my goals, they helped me prioritize what really deserved my attention. Now, I want to encourage you to take a moment to identify the distractions in your life. Those things or people just pulling your attention away from your goals. Sometimes they come from friends, family, or even dating partners, often unintentionally. But you got to ask yourself, are these distractions worth my focus, or is it time to set them aside? Breaking down your goals into manageable steps helps sharpen your focus. One task at a time makes the journey less overwhelming and keeps the momentum going. You got to practice affirming yourself and your priorities every day. Whether through your journal, your phone reminder, or some Post-its on a wall, you've got to practice affirming yourself. Now, staying focused isn't always easy, but it's a choice that empowers you to keep moving forward towards your dreams with a lot of clarity and strength. So don't let distractions steal your peace or your progress. Number 3, never let them see you sweat. When I firmly but uncomfortably told my roommate and her friends, I need to get to class and I highly suggest you return my things before I come back, I was absolutely nervous. Frustration was boiling inside of me, and I was close to a tipping point, but I kept my cool. I remembered what my dad always said, be still. So I chose to be still in that moment. Calmly showing maturity helped me just preserve my power and my dignity, even when I wanted to just express exactly how I felt. So when you feel heated and ready to raise your voice, stay neutral and tune into your inner peace. Visualize yourself as in control and remember the outcome you want is possible, and it will happen. Even if inside you feel torn completely apart, never let them see you sweat. Be cool and remind yourself this too shall pass. When my cousin later asked me to step outside and take a break, it actually gave me a chance to breathe and prepare what I'd want to say if things hadn't improved. Preparing your words mentally can help keep you grounded and clear-headed. Yes, it takes a lot of inner strength not to lose it, especially when your anger feels justified. It's also very strengthening not to just judge the other person for their actions, but to check inward and focus on your own well-being. Once you do that, you gain control over yourself, and that's all that truly matters. Number 4, be fearless. Now, owning your strength requires you to be fearless. Now, it's okay to be upset, anxious, and even feeling overwhelmed inside. But real strength, I'm talking about real strength. That comes from that control you have and that courage that follows, that allows you to be fearless, to speak up, and to stand your ground. Now, being fearless means refusing to be defeated. Now, maybe you've lost a battle, but the war is far from over. There will always be a time and place to let your feelings be known. Trust me. Just know deep down inside, it takes courage to be fearless, and that courage is more valuable than anything you will ever have. Fearlessness becomes your protector. It's your armor against intimidation, manipulation, and even peer pressure. In many cases, your silence speaks volumes. When you hold your ground without words, that resistance is noticed. Whether others say it or not, they notice it. It's okay to acknowledge your fears, but don't let them stop you. See your fear, be still within, and make a new decision. These brave steps will build your confidence over time. Who in your life empowers you and reminds you how amazing you are? Take a minute to think about who that person is, and then take inventory of your bravery and surround yourself with those people. Always have someone you can call who encourages you to be courageous. Sometimes fear comes because we're scared to speak our minds, but it's important to have that trusted person to just share your thoughts with. Then remember the times when you had to be fearless before. I'm sure you can recall back in the day. How did you overcome those moments? What gave you the strength to keep going? Let those memories fuel you now. You've conquered obstacles before, so you just need a reminder of the power of your voice and your purpose and your identity. That is your value. You deserve to be heard and protected, so make sure you show up fiercely for yourself. Number 5, command respect. I don't think I'll ever forget that night or how upset and surprised I was when one of my roommate's friends actually came to apologize to me. And you know what? I respected that. I respected her taking full responsibility. It was the first time I'd ever witnessed somebody my age owning their actions. Now, my cousin may have influenced her, but still, she reached out, and that mattered. In fact, she ended up becoming one of my good friends. I thought my roommate and I would have that kind of friendship, but instead, I found real friendship in her friend. Now, that didn't sit well with my roommate, of course. She grew jealous of not just me, but also of the friends I made who understood that what happened was just unnecessary and extremely disrespectful. In that moment, I found my voice. I commanded respect without even knowing it. As tensions grew with my roommate, I asked the RA to move me to another dorm room. Luckily, the RA understood and made it happen, and I was able to keep my friendships with many others that year. Meanwhile, I learned that my former roommate eventually left Howard altogether. So things worked out just as they were supposed to. This was a powerful lesson. Your actions, your boundaries, and your respect for yourself set the tone for how others treat you. So start defining what you will and won't tolerate. Communicate these boundaries clearly and consistently. Because when you respect yourself, others will start to respect you too. So check in with yourself every day. Walk with some intention and just know your worth. People can't help but respect that. That is true strength. That is owning your power. And you deserve nothing less. I hope these strategies have empowered you to walk boldly through this life. So stay calm, stay focused, never let them see you sweat, be fearless, and command respect. Because challenges will come, but how you respond will define your pathway forward. If you're listening for the first time and you're not familiar with me or our podcast, please go to our website for more information to listen to our previous episodes. Learning from our experts will save you some time and help you build a strong future you can be proud of. As always, thank you to those who continue to support our podcast. We are grateful for you, your support, and your suggestions for new topics. Tune in this month as we continue to celebrate this new series, Owning Your Strength. And for my final words of encouragement, stay true to you, and all will be well. Until next time, be well.